those of you that are doing your early browsing, come on and find your seats.
Knock it off.
We are knock it off, says Rick. Please find your seats, folks. We're about to start our service and start with our first sing-along song, which is a Bruno Mars tune called "Just the Way You Are."
And if you are just standing, I'd like you to stand.
That is
So
just
please.
stand on up is good. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are, the way you are. You're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are, the way you are. You're amazing, just the way you are. And just the way you are, go and meet and greet your neighbor. There's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. When you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. Because you're amazing, just the way you are. You're amazing, just the way you are. You're amazing, just the way you are.
Oh, yes, you are. Look at you. You look amazing this morning, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Capistrano Valley in beautiful San Clemente. Isn't it a gorgeous day? So delighted that you all decided to join us this morning and be in the presence of love, as we kick off this holiday season. So we're going to start our service with the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and the practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring that Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and the path of peace. We light the candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And as practitioner, Jeannie Hounshell lights the last candle. Please let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. Now, if you'll join me in prayer. As we join together in this cosmic stream of divine love, we recognize and we know that there's only one power, one love, one joy, one unconditional intelligence, one awesome magnificence. And this one energy, this essence, this presence is everywhere present at all times. For there is not a spot where God is not there. Therefore, each one of us is a sacred activity of this beloved energy. We are the light. We are the joy. We are the love and we are the compassion of God. So this morning I affirm and I decree that all is well, and that each one of us is awake, alive, and aware of this divine essence within each one of us. And we express it with such beauty, such grace, and such joy. I know that this morning's service is absolutely the perfect thing for you today, because each one of us is listening with our spiritual ears, and we glean all the wisdom from Dr. Heather's talk. We glean all the joy from the music, and we listen with love. So knowing I speak the truth, I know this truth sets us free. And I place my words into divine mind, where these words have already been created. And so my heart is full of gratitude and deep thankfulness for this time together, for this teaching, for this essence of love. And I anchor this prayer in this God love, in joy, in confidence, as we say together, and so it is. Now I'd like to invite Patrick Freeman up to do our declaration and our affirmation.
Okay, please join with me in the Declaration of Principles. I believe in God,
one creative intelligence, operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being,
now and always. I believe that this perfect spirit operates upon a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief.
I believe this
Perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is. Affirmation for today. If there is any condemnation or animosity in me, I gladly release it. I release it and I let it go as I turn to that silent presence within me, which gives all and withholds nothing, and so it is.
Thank you, Patrick. And please welcome Kelly Corsino.
So, I'm just going to say something really fast. I'm not known for a lot of talking before I sing, but I have to say, it was a little crazy this morning. And I am so grateful for this community because everyone just jumped in to help with everything that needed to be done. And I felt supported and loved. And Diane, you're amazing. And the band is amazing. And I'm so very grateful. So with that, I'd like to offer you this song of mine called The Key of Humanity. Please sing to me in the key of humanity. Bring me the beauty, 'cause I'm ready to love, I'm ready to learn, ready to let it begin. Ready to love the end. I've been on the dark side of the moon. I've been a singer out of tune. Poet, I was searching for a rhyme. This is my moment, I'm gonna shine. So please sing to me in the key of humanity. Yes, bring me the beauty. 'Cause I'm ready to love and I'm ready to learn, ready to let it begin. Ready to love again. I'm happy to walk in my own shoes. Go wobbly sometimes. My voice forgot how to sing through.
amazing.
Love you.
Welcome to our transformed sanctuary. This is really quite a morning, and my message, as you know, is our need for forgiveness, and comes straight out of Living the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. And so almost always the universe provides me with things to forgive. So, and especially if that's my talk title, then it provides me with things to share with you to forgive. So, but before I get into me, I would just like to acknowledge the passing of President George Bush Sr. And the one thing, it's always mixed emotions, because you see the greatness of the American people that come together in a bipartisan way when a president passes or someone that has had a very public role passes. The one thing that touched me very deeply, and I haven't read a lot yet, but is the code word for the family. So for those of you who are pilots will know and appreciate this, is CAVU, which is CAVU, or Ceiling and Visibility Unlimited. And so it was his motto because he was a pilot, and so to be able to see clear up to the sky, what a wonderful idea about making your transition in that way. Ceiling and visibility unlimited. So we can see for miles and miles. Means that it's a good day for flying. And it's always a good day for us. So I've had a really interesting week. On Monday, I decided to do a Cyber Monday thing and buy for free. I was going to get a free Apple Watch because T-Mobile said all you needed to do to get a free Apple Watch was to sign up 2 lines. Well, I had no clue what 2 lines meant, number one. But number 2, I thought, well, I now have Verizon. They're okay. I've been very happy for 15 years with Verizon, but maybe for getting a free watch, this would be a good thing. Well, I spent all day from trying to sign it up. You have to do it online. So I got so far online, and then I found out where the nearest T-Mobile store was, got information there, went back home to my computer at home, and continued the process. Finally called T-Mobile, and still was confused. So it ended because the person I was talking to said, yes, we can still do this for you, but it's going to cost you a down payment of $250. Well, that doesn't sound like a free watch to me. So I just said, at the end of the night, I just said, no thanks. Because they wanted me to still switch over my cell phone. I thought, why would I do that? I'm perfectly happy where I am. So the next day I was busy because it's class day and I'm working on preparing, and then Wednesday it kept niggling at me like this was not right. This felt like a bait and switch. This felt like it was was incorrect behavior. So I called. I spoke to 6 different people at T-Mobile, and each one put me on hold, and each one put me on louder music than the one before, and the music got more and more negative, I guess more and more rock and roll, I don't know, whatever, but I was determined that I was going to complete this. And so the last person, and of course Wednesday, I was participating in Wednesday's Wisdom, so I said to the gentleman I was talking to, in a few minutes I need to go because I'm a minister and there's a service, but you can call me back in an hour. He said, I'll call you back in 3 hours. I didn't hear from him. So that was when I pushed send my letter to the Better Business Bureau, because I figured there should be some consequence. And anyway, now I have heard back from the Better Business Bureau, our need for forgiveness. Our need for forgiveness. Well, Okay, so now, let's see what I've got here. Maybe I've got nothing. Help me out. Okay, our need for forgiveness. So how many of you were at the bonfire on Friday night? Hands up. Oh, mostly over here. Okay. I thought it was such a great idea. I got the map, I got the address, I thought I took it home. Then I do my regular Friday things, and it was time to get ready and go. I got all dressed with the warm sweater and the scarves and the hat, and got my chair, like my beach chair that I haven't ever used yet, in my car, and the blanket in my car. And I don't know where the map is for directions. Just go. You know where Doheny Park is. Go. Well, I went. And I got into this big, huge parking lot. And there weren't many cars in it, and none that I recognized. And I knew Reverend Judy was there, where she was going to go, and I know I could recognize her car, and I couldn't see it anywhere. I thought, well, maybe there's another parking lot. I picked up my chair and my blanket and my hat, and I went walking. I went north, or whatever the direction is there in the harbor. I went towards Laguna Beach. I should have been coming towards San Clemente. I was totally off. I must have gone around there, at least for an hour. I came to a bonfire. It wasn't us. I thought, well, they must have all left. Because in my mind, it was too cold to stay for 4 or 5 hours. You probably would only stay for an hour or so. So in my mind, everybody's gone, and these other people are using our bonfire. So I went to the movies. I saw Rhapsody, Bohemian Rhapsody, which I really enjoyed. But anyway, the next one. I must have it on there. So I missed our holiday bonfire. And this is what I did. Because I thought, well, why was I so careless to misplace that map? And all of the chatter in my mind was how bad and wrong I was. And I really should have been there. After all, I am the senior minister of this place. And this was the start of our holiday festivities. And so it was, I kept putting more things to carry in that bag. More self-criticism, more judgment, more blame. And this is what we do. This is what we do. This is why we have need for forgiveness. It isn't about another person. The map was perfectly clear once I understood it, but I guess I need to learn to read maps because I was in the wrong place altogether. And until I got here Saturday afternoon, and Reverend Karen and Rick were setting up, and she said, oh no, we were right across from Ola Mendes. I said, really? I was certain Doheny was further north than that, but anyway, nope. They were there until 8 o'clock, so much longer than I gave them. Filling my suitcase full of wrongdoing on myself. Ernest Holmes says in this beautiful essay, I want to read the part that he says. He says, all sorts of places here. We are all human beings, and we all have made mistakes. We all carry an unconscious burden of guilt, and we all need a sense of being forgiven. One of the most revealing things in the new science of mind is our need to feel that we are right with God, with life, and with each other. That we are right with God, with life, and with each other. And that's where our need for forgiveness comes in. He goes on in the essay to say the very same thing he says in my favorite quote, is that because God is love, then if we are judging anyone, somebody else, or ourselves, if we're judging, we're not letting the love flow. And if the love isn't flowing within us, then we cannot possibly bring great good. We cannot manifest, we cannot demonstrate this science. If there's any judgment against anything, but imagine if there's any judgment against yourself, what a big block you're putting up. The universe adores you. It is attempting at all times to support you and set you free and love you. But if you are judging you, then you're not open to that flow of good. So our need for forgiveness is all about, it's a very selfish need, because in order for us to be fully alive and to be receiving all the bounty, all the greatness of God, then we need to have nothing against anyone. Only love. Only love. And is that possible? Yes, it is. Absolutely, yes, it is. To hold yourself gently and with tenderness, kindness, and forgive yourself when you've made a mistake. What Ernest says, and it's very true, we know this, is that so much of our belief is subconscious or unconscious. We don't know what we don't know. We don't know what beliefs are driving us or moving through us. But one thing we can know for sure is that if we are experiencing any issues whatsoever, physical, relational, any kind of issues, then we're not right with that God source within us. We're judging. We're blocking. So this is the moment to say, hey, I've had enough of that kind of life. I'm going to be free. I'm going to set myself free. I'm going to set myself free, and I'm going to set Team Wolf free. Well, I'm at it. Because honestly, see, I looked at my title and went, oh, that's why you set this up. Oh, good for you. So I've been carrying this thing, and we have one of the greatest practices for forgiveness is the Ho'oponopono. Thank you, Mary. Which is very simply, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And I'll just remind you, I've told you this before many times, one of us or other people have, that it's an old Hawaiian prayer, ancient, and it was made famous by a modern psychiatrist called Hugh Lennon, and he was put in charge of an asylum for the criminally insane. It was a very dangerous place, a very scary place, and people were afraid. The staff turnover was amazing because no one felt safe, and so they left. They would work for a little bit, and then they'd feel horribly unsafe, and they'd leave, they'd quit. And so he came in as the head, and all of a sudden, things started to, well, not all of a sudden, changes were noticed. And the changes were, first of all, the staff was staying. They were smiling. They were interacting with one another. And then, the miracle, these criminally insane, these people who had been completely discarded by society, the unteachables, started getting well and started being released. And one by one, they were released because they were healthy and free to go. And so finally, someone said to him, how did this happen? You never even interacted with the inmates. You never interacted with us. How did this happen? He said, here's what he did. One by one, he got the whole patient file, he'd read it, and he'd be deeply moved by how horribly these beings had been treated by society, by their families, however. And he, knowing that we're all connected, said this prayer from the bottom of his heart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you've had such a horrible existence, such a horrible life. I'm sorry that life has been so tough for you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Because I'm part of your life. I'm connected with you. I'm one with you. Thank you. Thank you for accepting my apology. Thank you. And then I love you because love is the healing power of the universe. I love you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And what I know is if you do this prayer, if someone has broken your heart, do this prayer with them in mind. You're really doing it for you, to set yourself free. If someone has betrayed you, do this prayer. If someone has abandoned you, do this prayer. If you're experiencing some pain, physical, mental, emotional pain, do this prayer for yourself. Look in the mirror as you're saying it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. This is a wonderful, wonderful day. It's the first day of Hanukkah. And Hanukkah, all sorts of gifts are exchanged, right? It's the 8 days of gift giving, of lighting a candle each day, each night. And Christmas is coming. It's another holiday occasion for gift giving. The greatest gift you can give anyone, and the greatest gift you can give yourself, is the gift of forgiveness. Set yourself free right now, today. Let's say this together. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
And just to bring it back to more modern times, although that was, I think, very modern. And Mary, if you could advance me, please. I'm going to close by reading to you a part of a song that always moved me. And someone, when I was looking up songs about forgiveness, someone said, and not written by Don Henley, who was part of the Eagles. But this one, of course, is Don Henley. And it's the heart of the matter. I've been trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak, and my thoughts seem to scatter. But I think it's about forgiveness. Forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. There are people in your life who've come and gone. They let you down and hurt your pride. Better put it all behind you. Life goes on. You keep carrying that anger, it'll eat you up inside. I've been trying to get down to the heart of the matter, but my will gets weak and my thoughts seem to scatter. But I think it's about forgiveness. Forgiveness, even if you don't love me anymore. And so it is. And please join me in prayer. In this holy moment of right now, I know that there's good for each one of us. And I speak this word in the first person, knowing that as I set myself free, I invite everyone to do the same thing. This is what I know for certain. I know that there is only one life, and that life is God's life. It's whole, complete, and perfect in every way. That life is the life of the divine mind. Free, fully giving of itself, healing everything in its wake. It is the essence of life. That is love, eternal, unconditioned and unconditional love. It is what it's about, and it's what brings us together here this morning. So what I know for each one of us and know for myself is that I fully forgive anyone and everyone who has disappointed me, abandoned me, broken my heart, called me names, shamed me or made me feel guilty, for I know that all of it comes from me and from a lack of awareness of who I really am. So in this moment, I wake up to that truth of my being, that I'm capable and strong, healthy, and vitally alive. I remind myself that it is natural for me to be surrounded by intelligence and to move intelligently, to be surrounded by support and love, to give of that divinity through which I am created. I know that this is absolutely the truth. I know that this day is a new beginning for me. I set aside the past. It is gone. It is of no use to me whatsoever. And I fully embrace this present moment in which all of God's power lies. I'm so very grateful. I'm grateful for this moment, this love, this oneness. And with my heart filled with gratitude, I simply place this word in the action of divine law. It is complete, and please help me anchor it by saying with me, and so it is. Now, Kelly Corsino.
There are a lot of beautiful holidays being celebrated right now, as Dr. Heather mentioned. And so this is a song to honor that I wrote with Robert Anderson. It's called It's a Wonderful Life. Lights of green, red, blue, and white, strung through the neighborhood, oh, out of sight. Tootsie Roll trains and toy planes in flight, the eyes of a child in wonder. Stop, look, it's a beautiful night, and that same star shines so bright. A lifetime of memories as we hold hands tight, right here and now. It's a wonderful life. Gray hairs and smiles will keep rolling on. Some of us here, some of us gone. Children of children sing the same songs, singing together in wonder. Stop, look, it's a beautiful night. And that same star shines that same star shines on and on and on. It's so bright. A lifetime of memories as we hold hands tight. Right here and now. Right here and now. Right here and now. It's so wonderful.
It was beautiful, Kelly. Thank you. If the stewards would come forward, it's time for us to share our gifts, our tithes, our offerings. So how we do this is we take our gift and we say our prosperity affirmation together, and then we take a few seconds in gratitude just to multiply this good that is ours. So a few seconds in gratitude, and then we're going to sing Blessed Always. Yeah. I am so blessed.
Same thing.
It is, and I'm looking right at it. And then Diane's going to follow up with something else, something wonderful. Okay, so please join me. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply, and it symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply. I'd like to acknowledge all of you who are in service today or have been in service this week. So if that's you, would you please stand so we can give you a lot of love. And then if the practitioners would remain standing, our practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer. And if you want your life transformed, it's all right. In her mind, she's the same as you. So make an appointment to see one of these people today. You'll find the 3 practitioners who are in service. One will be in the in the tranquility room, and the other 2 will be in the multi-purpose room. And Aiden will help you get there if you're in need of prayer. So the 3 people are Dr. Jeannie Poundshell, Marlene Cutler, Patrick Freeman, and Reverend Judy. Let's acknowledge our practitioners. And I'd like to welcome anyone who's here for the very first time. If that's you, all you need to do is let us know you're here for the first time by raising your hand or standing up. Well, let's affirm ourselves then. So please repeat after me. I am welcome here.
I am welcome here.
Who I am makes a difference.
Who I am makes a difference.
I know it.
I know it.
I act from it.
I act from it.
All is well.
All is well.
And so it is.
And so it is.
But now I would like to acknowledge God's greatest idea. And you know, if you have a birthday in December, that's you. So anyone with birthday in December, so we can acknowledge you as God's greatest idea for December, because God brought forth human beings. Please stand. Barbara.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to
And so, as you can see, today is our annual holiday boutique and brunch. So stay for some delicious food and start your holiday shopping today. We have some amazingly creative gifts available, and all made from your spiritual family. And it starts immediately following the service and will end around 1:30. So Conscious Connection will resume next week.
This week at Wednesday's Wisdom, Reverend Bruce will present his talk titled, "Don't Wait to Take Charge of Your Life. Start Now. I Will Show You How." Short title. The service starts at 7 p.m. and just a reminder that our Potluck Wednesdays have been discontinued for the time being, so bring a candy bar.
And our annual Christmas Eve service is coming up. So bring your family and friends and start your celebration, your Christmas celebration, with our fabulous music as always, inspiration provided by our ministers and children, and share in the warmth of our loving community. So caroling begins at 4:45 and then the service starts at 5.
On December 31st, 1986 at noon, Greenwich Mean Time, people around the world gathered to participate in the most comprehensive prayer activity in history, a planetary affirmation of peace, love, forgiveness, and understanding involving millions of people in a simultaneous global mind link. The purpose was to usher in a new era of peace on our planet. Our center, along with millions of others, continue this tradition each December 31st as an opportunity to demonstrate your commitment to peace. Join us this December 31st at noon Greenwich Mean Time, which translates to 4:00 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then join the group for breakfast immediately following. That is Monday, December 31st at 4 a.m. right here at the center. You can come in your jammies.
If you have any questions about that, see Patrick Freeman. He is leading us in that. And our next Women's Circle meeting is this Friday, December 7th at 7 p.m. right here in the center, and will be led by Lisa McClure. So come and join in, ladies. And now,
I have one quick announcement for the men of the choir that are here today. Come see me so you can get your rehearsal CDs. And also put on your calendars, December 16th, that Sunday is our big choir Christmas Sunday. So put that into.
Don't miss it. Yeah.
Kitties.
Yeah.
Kitties.
Kitties, time for the kids.